Presented by Ms. Lou TV Sports. Tonight from the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan, the Detroit Drive hosts the Chicago Bruisers in the first semifinal playoff for Arena Ball 89. Tonight's arena football game is being brought to you by Little Caesars Pizza, by Budget Rental Car, the official rental car and truck of arena football, and by Wilson Sporting Goods, the official equipment, football, and shoe supplier to arena football. And welcome everybody to Joe Louis Arena in the heart of the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan. Tonight a playoff game, arena football action between the Detroit Drive and the Chicago Bruisers. Hello everyone, I'm Dave Eanet. Working alongside me, former National Football League star Jim Garbowski. And tonight, the first playoff game for Arena Football 89, the Bruisers and the Drive, the same two teams which opened the arena football season several weeks ago. A game won handily that night by Detroit, Jim.
Good first half in that first ball game, and then Detroit just walked away from them, 40-28, as I remember correctly. Pretty good football game for a half, but Detroit was just too strong for them.
That set the tone for Detroit's season. They ended up in a three-way tie for first in arena football with a record of 3-1, along with Pittsburgh and Denver. Those two teams will play tomorrow night out in Sacramento. Then you see Chicago, the only team in the playoff field, coming in with just the one victory. They find themselves as the only team not in that three-way tie for first. And they may have something to prove here tonight.
Well, I think they're a much better team than only one victory. You know, they have the strongest offense in the league. They're averaging almost 42 points a ball game. On the other hand, though, Detroit has a defense. They've only given up an average of 21 points a game. They have by far the strongest defense, and you almost got to lean towards the defense.
Chicago, we should point out, got their only victory, a convincing one, against the Maryland Commandos, the only team without a victory in arena football. But they start fresh tonight, a clean slate for the Bruisers, who will try to knock off the defending Arena Bowl champs in the first playoff game. We'll be back to set the scene for you and after these messages.
This is a
The Chicago Bruisers will receive the opening kickoff from Detroit's Novo Boyovich, so the number one offense will go right to work under the guidance of the number one quarterback in arena football, Ben Bennett. Boyovich, number 3 for the Detroit Drive, teeing the ball up at his own goal line. A reminder, if you're new to arena football, the field is 50 yards long. Kickoffs come from the goal line, and standing back deep for Chicago, one of the most dangerous return men and receivers in arena football, number 1 Reggie Smith. We are set to go this playoff game, Detroit and Chicago. We hope you enjoy it. Arena football playoff action as Boyovich hits the scoreboard, and the ball will be down right there. It hit the scoreboard hanging above midfield here at Joe Louis Arena, so Chicago will take over. Now Ben Bennett will be the quarterback, number 5. His targets, number 1 Reggie Smith, 82 Osei Lewis in the backfield, 84 Carl Aikens, another threat, 3 Ken Sanders. Up front, 32 Keith Williams, the tight end. John Bovair starts at center tonight. And number 55, Ted McNary, is the guard. The Bruisers coached by George Brancato. George Brancato, I should say, first down for Chicago, and Ben Bennett is sacked right off the bat. John Ralph leading the defensive charge for Detroit, and right off the bat, Chicago's in a hole.
Dave, you just see the protection just collapsing around Ben. He's looking for the receiver. That is the 4th sack of Ben Bennett this year.
That's right. He's been excellent in being able to get rid of the football, but Now it's a loss of 6, second and 16 from the 16 for Chicago. That ball overthrown, intended, it would appear, for number 3, Ken Sanders, but was not all that close to it.
Now overthrown. Ken Sanders got a little too much air under the ball, and that's pretty tough to do in this league.
Against Detroit, going back to the opener, Bennett, 15 out of 26, 3 touchdowns, 162 yards in a ball game that the Drive eventually won 40-28. Of course, in that game, they pulled away in the 4th quarter to a victory that was a little more lopsided on the scoreboard than it was on the field. 3rd and 16, Chicago. Nearly intercepted by Dwayne Dixon. It was intended for Akins. Dixon, 88, stepped in front of him and nearly had 6 for Detroit.
Well, Dwayne Dixon was the Iron Man of the Year last year in arena football. You'll see him playing just the center of the field, looking at the eyes of Ben Bennett, reading the ball very well. Just, do you see how he took his eyes off the ball? Once he thought he had it in his grasp, he started looking for the end zone. But a great play by Dwayne Dixon, maybe one of the best athletes in this league.
This will be a 49-yard field goal attempt by Rob Houtlin, who is 0 for 12 field goal kicking on the season.
0 for 13 now.
0 for 13, it's wide left. George LaFrance tries to come up with the football. It'll be a touchback, and the ball will come out to the 5-yard line for Detroit. The Drive to put it in play for the first time tonight. We have 12:26 to go in the first quarter. No score here in Detroit, and we'll be back after these messages.
The pros have a nickname for their favorite glove. They call it the A2. For more than 30 years, the Wilson A2000 has set the standards in a league where performance is the measure of the man and the glove. A2000, the glove of the pros from the brand of the pros.
Did you know that Budget rents trucks? All kinds of trucks. From pickups, cargo vans, to big 24-foot diesels. And they lead the league in features with power steering, AM/FM stereo, air conditioning, and manual or automatic transmissions. So don't just rent a truck from Budget. Next to me, they're the toughest thing on wheels.
We have 12:26 to go in the first quarter. No score in this Arena Football Playoff game. The Detroit Drive to put it in play for the first time tonight. And Tony Burris, number 5, is the quarterback. He goes to the air immediately. Dwayne Dixon, first down, Detroit. Well, now for Detroit, Tony Burris, number 5, started in place of Mike Trigger, quarterback. Alvin Reddick, 44, in the backfield behind him. The top threat in the league, George LaFrance, 27, Gary Mullen, 32, another receiver, and 88, Dwayne Dixon, the man who just caught that ball. Up front, Anthony Corvino steps into the starting lineup tonight. John Relk at center, and Greg Orton, another newcomer, at guard. On a first down from the 18-yard line, Detroit territory. Burris to throw again. He's going deep. A touchdown for the Drive.
David, looked like Chicago was going to get an interception. Steve Todd was there to pick it off, but it bounced off his hands into the hands of the receiver. Now let's take a look. You'll see double coverage. Steve Todd is back there in center field, number 26. You'll see there, it looks like he's going to have the interception, but Mullen just knocked it away into his own hands, and it's 6 points for Detroit.
Well, that was one of the quicker touchdown drives you'll see. 2 plays, about a minute or so for time of possession. The extra point by Boyovich is no good. So the Detroit Drive on a 32-yard touchdown pass from Tony Burris to Gary Mullen breaks on top here, and here it is again.
Dave, you'll see here, Steve Todd looks like he should have an interception. He's playing center field. He reads the ball. Now watch Mullen get his hand on it, deflects it away from Ton right into his own arms for the 6 points. Great play by Mullen. Kennedy Wilson, number 27, also there on the defensive side. And there's a young man very happy. Gary Mullen, number 32, who happened to be the MVP in the first-year Arena football in '87.
4th touchdown of the year for Gary Mullen. The 5th touchdown pass for Tony Burris, who passed for 2 of them against the Chicago Bruisers when he came on in relief of Mike Trigg when Trigg was shaken up. And the opening game of the season performed very well. And in fact, Jim, as you recall, he sparked the Detroit drive to that victory, coming off the bench, completing 11 of 15 for 115 yards and the 2 scoring passes. And right off the bat, he gives his team a 6-0 lead, although a lot of help that time from Gary Mullen. The kickoff by Boyovich. This time he avoids the scoreboard altogether. Sends Reggie Smith to the far corner of the end zone. He steps on the end line. It's a touchback, and Chicago will get it at the 5. Well, that's one thing that the Bruisers did not want to do. They did not want to spot Detroit an early lead. They've had to come from behind in the past. And right off the bat, a 2-play, 45-yard touchdown drive, capped by the 32-yard scoring pass, gives Detroit the 6-0 lead. First down, Chicago from the 5-yard line. Sanders, number 3 at the bottom of your screen. Akins in motion. Here's the pitch to Jeff Dole, and Dole is in good running room out across the 10-yard line.
Good run by Jeff Dole. George LaFrance, the cornerback, came up to make the hit, but he had his head down, completely missed Jeff Dole. Let's take a look. You'll see the bottom of your screen, number 27, coming up right about now, right there. But see how he had his head down? He just flat missed the tackle and allowed Dole to pick up an extra 5 yards.
It's only the 5th carry of the year for Dole. A nice gain, 9 yards, 2nd and 1 out at the 14. Akins in motion. Here's the pitch to Akins, running left. He's got some room. Out to midfield, and a flag goes down after the play.
They're going to call William McClay for a little unnecessary roughness, but a well set up play by Chicago. An end around, little fake to Dole, fullback. Now look at the room that Akins has to the outside. Now here's the extra hit. Akins is out of bounds, and William McClay comes in and makes the hit when Akins was out of bounds, so they're going to have a little walk-off. It'll be a first down for Chicago.
So a big gain there, all the way down to the 17 of Detroit. And I mentioned Dole had only carried 4 times coming in tonight. Carl Akins had only rushed the football once before. And he more than tripled, maybe quadrupled his yardage on that carry. First down at the Detroit 17. Bennett quickly to Ken Sanders. Gets away for a moment, but then is taken down. George LaFrance over to make the hit after a gain of about 4.5 yards. It'll be 2nd down. Tim Markham, the head coach of the Detroit Drive, upset over there on the sidelines.
He's just working the official, that's all.
I'm going to tell him you said that, Jim. 2nd and 5 at the 12. Tim Markham has won 2 Arena Bowls as a coach. Bennett to Akins, incomplete. Flag down in the backfield.
Very good coverage on Carl Akins that time by David Evans, number 26, and Evans going to the official saying, hey, I was bumped, I have a right to the football. You should call an offensive penalty, offensive pass interference. But the flag is called against Detroit, personal foul.
Carl Paganelli, the referee tonight, conferring with his crew, the umpire Wes Fritz, Hank Lepore, the head linesman, Darrell Leftwich, the side judge, Jim LePentina, the field judge. The indication, it's a 1st and goal at the 6, Detroit territory. There you see the officials, headed by Paganelli, who just indicated 1st down Chicago at the 6-yard line, 1st and goal. I formation, and here's a give to Reggie Smith, and Smith is inside the 5.
Give it to the little guy. Hope he gets hidden behind those big linemen. Pretty good first down play going into the end zone. Reggie Smith, only 5'6", super net, they call him.
Well, you know about his threat as a receiver. There you see his ability as a runner, the super net. Of course, he's one of the premier return men in arena football. Second and goal from the 3. Chicago trailing by 6. Again to Smith, and nothing doing this time.
Lynn Bradford that time in on the tackle, shot from his linebacker spot. And what looked like an easy touchdown was going to happen for Chicago. A big defensive play by number 33. You'll see it there, shooting in from the linebacker spot to drop Reggie Smith for a loss.
Chicago made some changes tonight in the offensive line, principally John Bovair stepping in and starting at center ahead of Lou Sorrentino, who had been listed first on the depth chart. Third and goal from the 5. Bennett to the air. Akins. Touchdown, Chicago. Carl Akins. His 8th touchdown of the year.
You saw Ben Bennett before the snap signaling Akins in a little closer. Akins was lined up very wide, and Bennett signaled, get a little closer. I want to be able to throw quickly before the linebacker can make his drop. The key to this play, Dave, is you got to avoid the linebacker, and this time he did. He threw it before Dwayne Dixon, the inside linebacker, could get out on the drop, and it's 6 points for Chicago.
Rob Houblin on to attempt the point after and attempt to give Chicago the lead. He does. The Chicago Bruisers have gone ahead of the Detroit Drive here with 6:15 to go in the first. It's 7-6 Chicago, and we'll be back after these messages.
They keep coming and coming.
Number 1 return man in arena football, George LaFrance, for the Detroit Drive. Outland puts it in the air. And it will go into the stands, a row deep, and that fan will get to keep the football. Let's take another look at the touchdown. 5 yards. Ben Bennett quickly to Carl Akins. 45 yards in 6 plays on the Chicago Drive, and a 7-6 Chicago lead.
It's a good call, Dave. They knew that linebacker Lynn Bradford was coming on the blitz. That vacated the area, and they hit the quick slant. You see that scoring drive, 6 plays, 45 yards, and 4 minutes and 33 seconds off the clock.
And a lot of it on the ground and via penalty. First and 10. Burris is going deep. For LaFrance, nearly intercepted by Carl Akins. Akins just caught one at the other end. He nearly had one there as well.
A little bit of a wounded duck throw by Tony Burris that time. This should have been picked off by Carl Akins. You'll see the ball underthrown by a couple of yards, and not too tight of a spiral either, but Akins there, and he should have had it.
We told you what Tony Burris did against Chicago, but he hasn't seen all that much action during the course of the season. Mike Trigg has been the #1 quarterback here. Second and 10. He overshoots Dwayne Dixon. And nearly found Gary Mullen accidentally.
He figured he threw a duck one time, and now he throws a rifle the next time. They're going for Dwayne Dixon on that 7-8 yard stop. You'll see it thrown high and really off to his right.
Dwayne Dixon did not play against Chicago in the season opener. He had suffered an injury in the Arena Bowl. It took him a while to get back here. We saw him make his debut for the season against Denver. Third and 10 now for Detroit from their own 20-yard line. Dixon goes in motion. Burris goes to Dixon. He makes the catch this time. First down, Detroit.
Those are the kind of receptions Dwayne Dixon had all last year. He led the league with 87 catches. You'll see a well-thrown ball, but a good grab because Carl Akins is all over Dwayne Dixon, but good concentration by Dixon hanging on to the football.
Tim Markham, the coach of Detroit, was upset at the officials on that one and let them know it. But he's got a first down inside the 20 of Chicago with 3:42 to go in the quarter. Burris on the night, 3 out of 5, 56 yards, 32 of them on the touchdown to Mullen. This pass is incomplete. Again, he was trying to hit Mullen.
Well, bad choice that time by Burris. He had George LaFrance open over the middle. LaFrance going back to the huddle saying, Tony, how about me? I'm open.
We'll no doubt mention George LaFrance a few times tonight. He's the leading scorer in all of arena football. He has scored 11 touchdowns, 9 of them via the pass. And he had a big game that night against Chicago at the Rosemont Horizon back on the 7th of July. 2nd and 10 from the 19. Tried to go to LaFrance that time. It was incomplete. There were 3 white shirts around George LaFrance.
Well, I'll tell you what I was open about and moaning about. Tony Burris really took a shot just as he released the football. Osei Lewis nailed him. Clean hit. But that young man paid the price for that attempt.
Chicago's biggest problem has been defense, as we've documented. They have the #1 offense in the league, but they are last in yards allowed. They are next to last in points allowed. And now they will try to stop Detroit on a 3rd and 10 from the Chicago 19. And Jeff Dole got a hand on it, and Kennedy Wilson wanted a front row seat.
Tim Markham is really upset. He's all over the official. He's saying that Jeff Dole was out of his drop area. There are some restrictions on how far to the flat the linebackers can cover, and you'll see Dole underneath there deflecting the attempt by Tony Burris. And Tim Markham is upset.
Novo Bojovic will come on to attempt a field goal here. This will be about a 35-yard attempt. Out of the hole to Tony Burris, and a chance to give Detroit the lead once more. And the kick is going to be wide to the right, off the nets, and down in the end zone. Touchback. Chicago will get it at the 5 with 1:04 to go in the first quarter. Detroit 6, and we'll be back after these messages.
Woodworkers 131 now, and find out how relaxing, fun, and rewarding woodworking can be for you.
Bruisers started on the 5 the last time. They went 45 yards for a touchdown. The handoff to Osei Lewis, and he breaks away. Out across the 20-yard line, he's finally wrestled out of bounds.
Oh, great move by Osei Lewis, cutting back to the left, seeing open territory. And you can see that young man's pretty excited. Osei Lewis led the league last year in rushing. They almost nailed him for a loss, but watch the cut right here. Good cutback by Osei. It wouldn't rival O.J. Simpson, but it was a good move by that 230-pound fullback.
Osei Lewis back after missing the last 2 games. So first down out near midfield. Reggie Smith. And another first down, Chicago, and a late flag.
That's the second late flag called against Detroit. This one on Dwayne Dixon, and you'll see Dixon pleading with the official. What did I do wrong? Good slant pattern. You send Carl Aikens deep and cut right behind him. Reggie Smith. Ball right on target. Now let's look for the late hit. He's down, and it was Dixon coming in with the helmet.
First down at the 13-yard line as the final seconds tick off the clock here in the first period. The first quarter is complete here at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. The Chicago Bruisers have a 7-6 lead over the Detroit Drive. We'll be back with the second quarter after these messages.
May I point out our special offer?
The official ball of Michael Jordan.
Some of the fans here at Joe Louis Arena enjoying themselves. Chance to get one of those souvenir footballs. And those fans are saying, hey, over here. course, if they get the real thing here, they get to keep it. But at least this way you get something for your efforts. We begin the second period of play. Chicago leading 7-6, a first down at the 12-yard line of Detroit. Bennett to the air for Sanders. Incomplete. Ken Sanders, the intended receiver.
And Dave, what we've seen in this latter part of that first quarter is an improved protection for Ben Bennett. The first series, he was under great pressure. In the last two, they've found their blocking schemes.
As we mentioned, some changes up front for Chicago. 2nd and 10 from the 12. Smith in motion. Now there's some pressure, a little screen. Incomplete, intended for Lewis. The other point, Jim, is that Chicago has been running the football much more than you would ordinarily see in an arena football game. Do you think that's playing a role in giving Bennett some additional time?
Certainly, you have to respect their run. Chicago is the leading rushing team in the league. They average about 40 yards a ball game. That doesn't sound a lot, but for this game, that is quite a bit.
5 of Bennett's 22 passing yards accounted for the 1 touchdown. This is a 3rd down. Some jumping on the line. Flag down.
Flags down. Looks like onside. We'll see if the drive
the
was
whistle.
That's going to go against Detroit.
Penalties have really hurt Detroit up to this point. I mean, they are only down by a point, but penalties played a big role in that touchdown drive. Illegal procedure against Detroit. That's a 3-yard penalty, and it'll be 3rd and 7 to go for Chicago. Nose of the football just inside the 10-yard line. Lewis, the lone setback. Bennett to Sanders. Tries to get away. He can't. Dixon was there to make the stop. William McClay, number 7, also on the defense for Detroit. Brings up a 4th down situation. So Rob Howland will come on here to attempt a field goal. Howland 0 for 1 tonight, 0 for 13 on the season.
Well, it's probably his best opportunity now to break the ice for him. It's almost a chip shot field goal. But again, there's no chip shot field goal in this league.
That's right. We were on the field during the warm-ups, Jim, watching him from about this distance. This will be about a 21-yard attempt. And he hit the upright. Hit the upright. Burris comes down with a loose ball. A flag is down. A pile up, and the ball will go over to Detroit, but there is a penalty.
And those people that are new to this game, you may wonder, well, it was a missed field goal. What are they doing trying to run it back? Well, if it's off the net or off the crossbar, that ball is in play. And very alertly, Ben Bennett went for the ball. He didn't pick up much, but he was very alert to go for it. Let's take a look. It is going to be off the left upright. And you see right there now, the ball is in play.
Number 5, Bennett, the quarterback for Chicago, also the holder, and the man who came up with that ball. Offside against Detroit, and
the penalties are against Detroit for offside.
Let's take a look. Here's the snap, the hold by Bennett. All right there, it hits the upright. Bennett catches it. That's a good way to get your starting quarterback all banged up.
Well, we're going to play it over again because penalties on each side, and Hotland's going to get another chance at it.
21-yard field goal attempt for Rob Howland out of the University of Iowa. And he nails this one. His first field goal of the year after 13 consecutive misses, and Chicago extends the lead to 10-6 with 12:12 to go in the second quarter. We'll be back after these messages.
It's revolution.
Dan Sellers, number 89, on the tackle for Chicago. And so, George LaFrance with one of his shorter returns of the year. The Bruisers went 39 yards in 6 plays to the 21-yard field goal by Rob Houtland. As Tony Burris checks back in after a sideline conversation with Coach Tim Markham. He's a young fan and enjoying arena football tonight here in Detroit. With Jim Garbowski, I'm Dave Eanet. We have 11:42 to go in the half. Chicago the 4-point lead. Burris to throw on first down. It's tipped. Incomplete for LaFrance. Somebody, Jim, got a hand on that one.
Good penetration that time by the defense of Chicago. You know, you look at those receivers that Detroit has as a trio, you probably are the best in the league with Dixon and LaFrance and Mullen. Now let's take a look and see if we can pick up who deflected this football. Right there, 32. That's Keith Williams.
Keith Williams ordinarily wears 88, but we had a uniform change, a jersey change. He's 32 tonight. And it's 2nd and 10 from the 8. There's the pitch to Bradford running left. Good yardage out to the 15.
You saw Carl Aikens in on the tackle. I think he received that blow. He certainly didn't dish one out there. Just kind of hanging on.
Of course, in arena football, you play both ways. It's one of the things that makes this a demanding game. We talk about the Ironman Award.
And they all should get them.
I'll tell you what. There's Steve Tahn, 26, on the receiving end of that block. The pitch again to Bradford. He's got a first down and then some. Lynn Bradford down inside the 20. And a first down, Detroit. 17-yard pickup for Lynn Bradford, who came in tonight as the #1 rusher in arena football.
And you saw a pretty good block out in front of him by George LaFrance, the return man, the receiver, and also will throw a block.
First down at the 17 of Chicago. Burris to LaFrance to the 10 and wrestled out of bounds. Steve Tahn on the tackle. Yeah, Bradford came in averaging 4.5 yards a carry. He's looked good running the football tonight on this drive. Down to the 10. It'll be 2nd and about 3 yards to go for Detroit as the drive tries to regain the lead here as we approach the 9-minute mark of the first half. LaFrance in motion. The gift to Bradford again, fighting his way forward. Close to a first down.
It certainly looks like the rushing aspect of the game is becoming more important in this football game. As games we've seen in the past, we've seen rushes maybe 6-7 times in the ball game, and both teams, Chicago and Detroit, are starting to rely on the rushing.
A measurement here. Little bit short here. It would appear they're going to try to get the 3rd down and about a yard.
They're talking about Lynn Bradford, who has carried the ball twice in this drive. You know, he comes from some pretty good genes. He's a cousin of Greg Pruitt, former Cleveland Brown, and Eric Dickerson. Not too shabby of runners in those two.
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
3rd and about a yard. You saw the distance needed for a first down for Detroit here with 8:38 to go in the 2nd quarter. Chicago leading 10-6. Burris will keep it himself. Falls forward. Then he's pushed back.
He didn't get much, but I think he got enough.
He got just enough. First down, Detroit. The winner of this game will go on to the Arena Bowl next week against either Pittsburgh or Denver. Those two teams will battle tomorrow night at the Arco Arena in Sacramento, California.
If Detroit wins, we'll be back here next week. And if Chicago wins, we'll be in Atlanta.
We can't lose.
That's right.
First and goal at the 7. The pitch to Bradford again. Bradford inside the 5. Lynn Bradford getting a workout on this drive.
You don't mind a workout, except if you have to go back and play defense on that series, which you'll have to do.
Good point.
I remember many occasions in college and professionally that if I had to go back and play defense after a long drive, it wouldn't have happened.
You mean you didn't play defense back in those days?
Well, even was on the field defensively, they didn't call it defense.
Second and goal at the 4. Dixon in motion. Here's a pitch to Bradford again, trying to turn the corner. Flag is down.
Tackle made by Keith Williams and Kennedy Wilson, number 27.
He got to turn the corner, but the reason being, nope, I thought there may have been a clip, but it's going to be offsides against Chicago. Let's take a look. Bradford does get to turn the corner, but the good pursuit stops him short of the end zone.
There you see Tony Burris conferring with Greg Orton of his offensive lineman.
So far in this ball game, there have been 4 penalties against Detroit for a total of 20 yards. Chicago has only had 1.
Second and goal now from just about the 2-yard line. Bradford, second effort, down close to the goal line before he's pushed back.
Yeah, Keith Williams of Chicago had a shot at him, would have stopped Bradford for a loss, but good solid determination broke that tackle and turned a loss into about a no gain.
So it'll be a third and goal situation as we approach 6 minutes to play in the first half. A low-scoring game thus far.
Yeah, this Chicago team averages 42 points a ball game, and
the give again to Bradford. Touchdown Detroit. Lynn Bradford's 3rd touchdown of the year, and the drive goes back in front.
There was one heck of a block out in front of Bradford by Dwayne Dixon. He just took Steve Ton and almost drove him into the stands. Let's take a look. You'll see Dixon 88. Watch the block on 26, Steve Ton, opening up the hole, and Bradford in for the 6 points.
So a nice looking drive there with Lynn Bradford doing most of the work for the drive as Nova Bojovic comes on to attempt the point after. Missed his first one tonight. Low snap. Burris gets it down. It's good. 13-10. Detroit takes a 3-point lead. We'll be back after these messages.
Don't I get two? There's only one way to go. My way. Budget one-way trucks.
Welcome back to Joe Louis Arena with just under 5 minutes to go in the half. The Detroit Drive has regained the lead. It's 13-10. Lynn Bradford with a 2-yard run. And then Novo Bojovic, the point after. A 9-play, 38-yard drive that time for Detroit. Pretty good game so far,
Yeah,
Jim.
most of those 38 yards were on the ground, too.
And most of them by Lynn Bradford. Here's the boot by Bojovic. Reggie Smith to the 5. Tries to get down the near sidelines. A flag goes down. Not much doing that time for Reggie Smith. Of the 38 yards gained by Detroit on that drive, Lynn Bradford picked up 32 of them. Now, where were the other 6? Penalties?
Yeah, think about that.
I don't remember a pass being completed on that drive. Penalties.
Well, it had to be penalties. So let's give it all to him.
Yeah. Lynn Bradford went 38 yards for a touchdown. Just took him a few plays to do it. First down from the 6 for Chicago after the penalty on the kickoff. The return by Reggie Smith, and Ben Bennett now finds his team down by 3 with 4:35 to go in the half. Bennett complete to Sanders along the near side. And close to a first down for Chicago. I believe he gained 9 yards. He'll be about a yard short.
That was a fine grab by Ken Sanders. Quick turnout pattern, the ball right on him just as he made the turn, and good reaction by number 3 right there, Ken Sanders.
2nd and 1 at the 4-minute mark. The pitch to Dole. And he's close to a first down. Needed a yard. May have fallen forward for about that much.
Good cutback by Jeff Dole. He saw the outside being cut off for him, so he took it back inside and got the first down.
The Bruisers, as we mentioned, with the #1 offense in the league. They average 42 points a game. They average 240 yards. They have scored 10 here in the first half. Bennett to Sanders again. For short yardage out across the 20. Dixon and LaFrance over there.
That play will work all night if the cornerback, in that case George LaFrance, is going to give that kind of cushion to the wide receiver.
Ken Sanders not ordinarily Ben Bennett's favorite target. He's got, of course, some good ones with Carl Aikens and, of course, Reggie Smith, who's caught as many passes as anyone this year in arena football. 2nd and 4 from the 22. Bennett to Sanders again. And this time he can't hang on. Well, LaFrance was indeed giving him a cushion. Sanders on the night, 4 catches, 23 yards.
It's the same look from a different formation, Dave. This time they line up 2 receivers wide to the right side and throw it back to the left.
Coming up at halftime, we'll be hearing from one of the coaches. Got some other features planned for you. Bennett to Smith. First down, Chicago. Reggie Smith making that grab for first down yardage down to the 20. We're inside 2 minutes to go now in the half. And we get a timeout. They move the chains.
You know, so often, Dave, you think in this league you go for the long bombs. So far today, it's been the short patterns and rushing the football.
And we have apparently a problem with a fan in the stands with a whistle or some sort of noisemaker. So the referee, Carl Paganelli, goes over to admonish those fans or ask for the help of the people sitting around there to. Now maybe that horn you hear in the background. I don't believe that's permitted.
Well, someone has a whistle down there. There's no doubt. And indoors like this, it's very important not to have those around because certainly the players can hear it.
Chicago first down, 10 yards to go at the 20. Inside a minute 40 to go in the half. Aikens in motion. Bennett goes to Aikens. Underthrown. Incomplete. Evans over on defense for Detroit.
Credit that incompletion to the rush. That time Bennett just couldn't get his arm forward and caused the ball to be underthrown. He was under great pressure.
So it'll be second down. Chicago still has its timeouts remaining. But plenty of time. There is more than a minute to go in arena football. That's an eternity. And now we have time called. We get the 1-minute warning for the half. 1 minute to go in the first half. Detroit leading 13-10. We'll be back after these messages.
Here's a chance to win a Tigers weekend package and a chance to attend baseball's
Self tonight. Giving her a Detroit drive. A nice wave there. 2nd and 10 at the 20 for Chicago. We have 1 minute to go in the first half. Bennett to Smith. Smith some bumping against McClay. A flag is down. Touchdown Chicago.
Well, the question is, who are they going to call it on?
You saw the bump between Reggie Smith and number 7 for Detroit, William McClay. Chicago players are clapping.
Let's take a look. We'll see if we can pick it up. There's Reggie
against Chicago.
Right there. I think that's a good call. Reggie really pushed off on McClay, number 7. And it's going to go against Chicago. Now we got an ISO on Reggie. Now let's see right here. He makes the cut. Now watch the push off. Yep. See that arm just push off William McClay. I think that's a good call.
There's the signal. Reggie Smith. I don't think Reggie Smith ever thought he was going to have a touchdown. He sat there and didn't move. The ball goes back to midfield. Loss of down. 3rd down situation now. 15 to go. The ball is back at the midfield stripe.
If Reggie's arm didn't get away from his body, it would probably have been called on McClay. But you saw as his arm got away, that's definitely a push-off.
3rd and 15. Bennett going for Smith. Incomplete. And Carl Aikens was wide open on the other side of the end zone. Now we have a flag going down as Reggie Smith is unhappy. He had the ball for a moment, Jim.
You say unhappy? I guess that's an understatement. He's hot. He is really hot. Boy, that was a well-thrown football right in the arms of Reggie Smith. Now let's take a look from Ben Bennett's angle. Now watch the ball laid it in perfect right in the arms of Reggie Smith. Now did he have possession when he came down? The official right there, but that official was behind Reggie. Let's take another look at him from another angle. Let's see if he comes down with the football. All he has to do is hit the ground under control. I'll tell you what, I think that's 6 points.
Yeah.
And I think Reggie Smith has a right to be hot. That's a touchdown.
Well, it's not a touchdown.
Well, that's right. It's not a touchdown.
It's 4th down, and instead of taking the lead, Rob Houghton will come on to attempt a field goal to tie the game with 47 seconds left. There's no instant replay official in arena football. We have the benefit of the replay, and the officials down there do not.
There are 2 officials there, and only one of them called it an incomplete pass.
This will be a 48-yard field goal attempt by Houghton. It's going to be out of the end zone. LaFrance did not get a chance to return it, but Detroit will touch the ball with 40 seconds to go. And we'll pause. Detroit leading Chicago 13-10. We'll be back after these messages.
Than our One Pass program. So waltz out of town on the airline with all the right moves.
We have 40 seconds to go in the first half here at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. Arena football action. The Detroit Drive leading the Chicago Bruisers 13-10. In Detroit with one last crack at the football here in the first half behind quarterback Tony Burris. To the air to Dwayne Dixon. And he picks up a quick 6 yards before he's wrestled out of bounds. 29 seconds and a timeout for Detroit, so the Drive still with some time to at least get a field goal out of this.
You would think maybe Detroit would go long, so they send 2 receivers down deep and drag out Dwayne Dixon underneath for a nice 6-yard gain.
Kennedy Wilson, Jeff Dole over to make the stop.
The only mistake Dixon made is he didn't get out of bounds. So it forced Detroit to call a timeout. Well, hello there.
Tony Burris. And I believe this is his first start at quarterback for this Detroit club. In his first year in arena football out of Western Oregon, where he passed for 48 touchdowns in 2 years. Isn't too bad. In any league. 2nd and 4 from the Detroit 11 with 29 seconds to go. Tries to swing it out to LaFrance in the left flat. Just a bit overthrown and incomplete. It'll bring up a 3rd down.
Same type of play they hit Dixon on for the gain in the previous play. This time they send Dixon deep and they drag George LaFrance. Ball overthrown though, and it looked like LaFrance really didn't get downfield as much as he should have.
Burris trots back in after getting some instructions from Tim Markham, from whom you'll be hearing in a few moments as the half ends.
Oh, the cameramen are at work again, aren't they?
3rd and 4 from the 11-yard line. Detroit football. He's got LaFrance. LaFrance has a first down. Detroit at the 20.
Good solid play by LaFrance. Looked it into his hands, knew he had the reception, looked for the sidelines, and ran out of bounds.
And it looked like Chicago was showing George LaFrance some respect.
And rightfully so. You see right there, looks the ball in his hands, looks for the sidelines, knowing the clock is the enemy right now.
20 seconds. The men up front for the Chicago Bruiser defense. Keith Williams, 32. Some of the fans getting revved up here in Detroit tonight.
The mad trumpeter is out there.
First down, Burris, the pump fake, going deep. Flag is down. He went for Mullen in the end zone. Incomplete. There's a flag down in the backfield. Now with 14 seconds to go. This will go against Detroit.
Tripping. Tripping on Detroit. Leg whipping.
Guys never did that in your day, did they, Jim?
Oh, yeah, they did. Just didn't get caught as much, I don't think.
So penalties continue to be a big story of this game for the Detroit Drive.
That's probably, I think, number 6 on Detroit.
I believe you're right. Coming up at halftime, we'll talk to Tim Markham, the head coach of the Detroit Drive. Penalty declined
against Detroit.
2nd down, 10 yards to go from the 20. LaFrance in motion. Burris under pressure, gets away. Going for Mullen, all alone, touchdown! Gary Mullen with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
A real mistake by the cornerback, Kennedy Wilson. You'll see Tony Burris under pressure will scramble to his right. Now he's got room to run. At this point right now, Kennedy Wilson looks, he comes up thinking run, and Gary Mullen is behind him by a good 10 yards. Burris sees it, and he hits him for the 6 points. Now the mistake was that Wilson should have just played his man.
Boyovich adds the point after touchdown. And with 7 seconds to go in the half, Detroit now has a 10-point lead.
See right here, Dave, as Burris gets to the outside, Mullen is thinking run. He comes up. Burris just pops it over his head to Gary Mullen, and it's another touchdown for number 32, Gary Mullen.
That's 5 touchdowns this year for Gary Mullen. And that is 6 touchdown passes for Tony Burris. And 4 of those have come against the Chicago Bruisers. 20-10. Detroit pulls out to the biggest lead in this game. A 10-point margin. 45 yards in 5 plays on the drive. Capped by the 30-yard pass. Burris to Mullen. And Boyovich adding the point after touchdown. He will now kick it away to Reggie Smith. And this may be the end of the first half. The boot by Boyovich. Smith from the end zone. Tries to get away, but he can't. Reddick down there, 44, along with number 7, McClay for Detroit. 3 seconds to go. So, Ben Bennett, it appears, will have 1 play.
An alley-oop.
Why not?
Why not? You can't. It's not going to hurt anything. Go for it.
From the 7-yard line. This will be the final play of the half. Bennett to Reggie Smith. Let him do the running on his own. Eludes 1 tackler. Can't get by the 3rd. So the first half comes to an end. And the Detroit drive will take a 10-point lead into the locker room at halftime. They lead the Chicago Bruisers here 20-10 after the first 30 minutes of play. The drive scored first on a Burris touchdown pass to Mullen of 32 yards, and the final points of the half came on a 30-yard pass, Burris to Mullen. We want to find out what the head coach of the Detroit drive has to say about all of this at halftime. His team trying to go to the Arena Bowl once again. Tim Markham, of course, knows something about the Arena Bowl. He's been there a couple of times in the past.
Well, he's the only coach to win the Arena Bowl. First year at Denver, last year at Detroit, and certainly has to be the favorite for this year's Arena Bowl.
The Detroit drive with a 10-point lead. Tim Markham, the head coach of the drive, standing by. Our halftime interview sponsored by Little Caesars Pizza. Let's go to Jeremiah Enright.
Welcome to Little Caesars halftime interview. I'm Jeremiah Enright. I'm standing here with head coach Tim Markham of the Detroit Drive, the defending Arena Bowl champion coach the last 2 years. Denver in '87, Detroit last year. Coach, it was a very defensive game.
This is a heck of a football game, isn't it?
It is, Coach.
It's a heck of a game.
It was very defensive there for a while, and then you opened it up at the end. What'd you do to open it up?
Well, you know, we don't do anything. We just caught on a scramble. We caught the kid loose down the sideline. That's all. It was just we actually had a short route called, and he scrambled loose and got the guy down the sideline.
I wonder, this year, Detroit and all the other teams have only played 1 game on their home turf. Besides the crowd here cheering for you, what gives you an advantage in this game?
I don't think there's any advantage when you're out there, Jeremiah. It's all, you know, those guys don't really know where they are. They're just playing football, and it's a heck of a football game. There's a lot of good contact out there on both sides, believe me.
What are you going to tell your boys at halftime in the locker room?
We're going to keep it up, okay? Keep it up. Keep being the hammer and don't be the nail.
Good luck, Coach. So from Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, the Detroit drives up 20-10 over the Chicago Bruisers. We'll be back after this message.
Detroit up by 10. It's a pleasure now to welcome one of our counterparts in the broadcasting booth for the Chicago Bruisers and a former star in the National Football League. Including, and at the end, the Chicago Bears, and you played for the Bears, what, about 8 years or so, Emery?
8 years with the Chicago Bears, and this is the first year that I haven't been in training camp in about 20 years, so I'm really enjoying it. I think this Bruiser football has kind of helped me get over that.
Emery is one of the broadcasters on the radio broadcast for the Chicago team, and of course you have been with us a couple of times. We saw you at the Rosemont Horizon when these two teams opened the season, then in Cincinnati, and it's been kind of a tough year for Chicago. This is a team that's got a winning tradition, and yet here they come into this playoff game with a record of 1-3.
Well, the Bruisers don't quite have the personnel they've had in the past. So they've got only 4 guys from last year's team that was in the championship game against the Detroit Drive a year ago. But it's a team that has been getting better defensively. They've been able to stop some people. And I think right now their problem is they just haven't had the breaks this game. They had the first touchdown covered, double coverage, a tip pass, and the guy catches. And then, of course, the play at the end of the half, the quarterback rolls out of pockets, and Kennedy drops coverage, and this man is running wide open down the sideline. So they haven't had the breaks this game, but they're playing much better now. They're not out of this game by any means.
Of course, the Detroit Drive, the defending champions. Emery, very quickly, from your perspective as a guy who played a dozen years in the National Football League, what do you make of all of this with arena football?
Well, I think it's an exciting game. Sometimes it's a little difficult on TV to see what's going on. But I think if the fans would come out to the arena, see the game, I think they would enjoy it very much. It's a fast game. It's a lot of contact. And I think they would enjoy it if they took the time to come out and watch it.
All right, Emery, always good to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you very much, Dave.
Emery Moorhead, former tight end with the Chicago Bears, now broadcasting for the Chicago Bruisers. We're at halftime in Detroit. The Drive leading the Bruisers by 10. We'll be back with more of our halftime activities after these messages. Halftime here at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. The Detroit Drive leading the Chicago Bruisers by a score of 20-10. Welcome back to Joe Louis Arena in this arena football playoff game. I'm Dave Eanet. Jim Garbowski has rejoined me, and Jim, here at Detroit really asserting itself at the end of the half. It's going to be tough here for Chicago to come back.
But, you know, I think of 2 key plays. The touchdown by Reggie Smith that was ruled an incomplete pass, and the one he scored on that he had the penalty on. If those 2 plays went the other way, who has the lead now? It would be Chicago. So I think we got a lot of football left in this second half.
Both of these teams are very explosive offensive teams. I mean, you look at a Reggie Smith, a Carl Aikens, and of course a quarterback like Ben Bennett. But then you look over at Detroit and a George LaFrance, and really, in all honesty, we haven't talked all that much about LaFrance tonight. He has not been used all that much in the role in which we're accustomed to seeing him.
Well, you look at their 3 receivers. You have Gary Mullen, who was the MVP and Arena Bowl in '87. You got Dwayne Dixon, who was the Iron Man last year in '88. And you got George LaFrance, who probably will be the Iron Man this year in '89. And you got probably as a trio the best 3 receivers in the league. On the other side, you got Ben Bennett, who's the leading passer in the league. He doesn't have the receiving core that Dixon has, but he can really put the ball up. You saw that play to Reggie Smith in the end. That was a perfectly thrown football, as good a throw as anybody could have made.
Well, he's got his work cut out for him here in the second half. Chicago down by 10. We'll be tonight's game after these messages. And now lead it by 10 at halftime. Let's go back to some of the highlights in the first half. And first of all, it was Tony Burris, the quarterback for Detroit. He'll go up top early in the game. In fact, the opening drive for Detroit. And he'll find number 32, Gary Mullen. This will be a 32-yard touchdown pass. And a great catch by Gary Mullen. The point after was no good. Detroit had a 6-0 lead with 11 minutes to go, but Chicago came right back behind Ben Bennett. He'll go up top to one of his favorite targets, Carl Aikens, a 5-yard touchdown pass, and Chicago on the extra point took the lead 7-6. That's how the first quarter ended. Chicago later got a field goal, a 21-yarder from Rob Houtland, but then the Detroit Drive led by that man, 33, Lynn Bradford, who carried the ball most of the way on a 38-yard drive, capping it the final 2 yards, 4:57 to go in the half. It was Detroit up 13-10 with the point after. Later, Burris to Mullen again for 30 yards and a 10-point Detroit lead at the half. We're getting set for the second half. We hope you are too, and we'll be back with the second half of tonight's game in just a few moments. Halftime, Detroit leading by 10, 20-10. Reggie Smith of the Bruisers was involved in 2 pivotal plays in the first half. Now in this one, it's an apparent Chicago touchdown as he goes up against number 7, William McClay.
Well, Dave, you saw Reggie push off with that left arm. That is definitely offensive pass interference. The officials called it.
Well, this is just a few plays later. Ben Bennett trying to get that touchdown that got away on the penalty. It goes to Reggie Smith again. Smith appears to make the grab. But there you see the ball come loose. It was ruled incomplete. No touchdown.
Well, I'll guarantee you, though, if the officials saw that, they would have changed that all around and given Reggie the touchdown. And you see Reggie is awfully hot right there, and I think deservedly so. He felt that he was in there for the 6 points. He definitely had his feet down, and the ball was jarred loose as he hit the ground. He had possession, though.
Pretty good spike by Reg. I don't blame him. I'm sure he would have just as soon spiked the football than the helmet right there. The halftime statistics show the Detroit Drive with almost a 2-to-1 edge in passing yardage, 108 to 58. Chicago the edge on the ground, 40 to 33. And you know, we mentioned penalties a number of times in the first half, Jim, but those really evened out late in the half. Each team was flagged 4 times for 20 yards. And at one point, I think Detroit had been penalized 4 times and Chicago only once. And of course, that helped Detroit on that late touchdown drive. Lynn Bradford, who came in tonight as the #1 rusher in arena football, has carried the ball for 32 yards here. Burris on the night for Detroit, 7 of 15 for 108 yards. And of course, the 2 touchdowns. Bennett, 8 of 16, 64 yards. And he has the 1 touchdown to Carl Akins. That's Akins' only catch of the night, by the way. Ken Sanders, the leading receiver in the ball game, with 4 catches for 25 yards. So now Detroit with a 10-point lead. Chicago has to come out here and get it going.
Yeah, certainly they have the offensive firepower to get it going. As we have mentioned many times in the first half, they lead the league in points scored. They're averaging almost 42 points a ball game, so they can certainly put some points on the board. What they're going to have to come up with is defense. They have been burnt in their secondary all year. Some lapses in the secondary, as we saw right at the end of the ball game. Kennedy Wilson made a real mistake and allowed Mullen to get behind him and for the final touchdown of the half.
Well, plenty of time remaining for Chicago. At halftime, it's Detroit by 10. We'll be back with the second half after these messages.
May I point out our special offer, 2 pizzas for the price of 1.
Oh, thank you very much.
Excuse me, your shoelace is untied.
Oh. Yes, I'd like that 2-for-1 offer.
I'm sorry, that offer has expired.
But I just bent over to tie my shoelaces.
He did. He bent over.
There's nothing I can do.
Show him your shoelaces.
Some pizza places have temporary 2-for-1 offers. At Little Caesars, you always get
pizza.
2 great pizzas for 1 low price.
The northern or central part of California. What would you call that? Northern or central?
That's
Jim?
central.
Central, okay. Well, then in the central part of California to see arena football. The Chicago Bruisers making their way back onto the field, knowing they have to erase a 10-point deficit if they hope to be in that Arena Bowl against one of those 2 teams next week. And for the Detroit Drive, a chance to defend their title if they win here tonight, and a chance to make it 2 Arena Bowl victories in a row. Some of the local cheerleaders, I think these are high school cheerleaders from the Detroit area, entertaining the crowd here at halftime. The Detroit Drive was coming off its most lopsided win of the year, Jim. They beat Pittsburgh 61-34. And you know, one thing we really haven't mentioned, they come in here tonight with a couple of weeks off. They would have to be very well rested. Chicago, on the other hand, coming in off a very tough 1-point loss to Denver last week in Atlanta. So right there, you would think, boy, 2 weeks rest. That has to also weigh heavily in Detroit's favor.
It certainly does, Dave. This Detroit team, as we've talked about, I think is probably the strength of the league. Over up from top to bottom, I think they have the strongest players, and we've made reference to their receiving corps, which is so excellent. And with a 10-point lead, they look awfully strong going into the second half. But don't forget, this is arena football, and 10 points mean nothing.
Yep, we have certainly seen that to be the case. And of course, it took Detroit on that final possession of the half, on their final possession of the half, only what, a half a minute to score a touchdown there. So you can see how quickly they can score. Interesting decision, I thought, to go with Tony Burris tonight, because Burris had some success against Chicago, and Tim Markham evidently felt that you might as well go with a guy who's shown that he can have the hot hand against a given team.
Yeah, you can't argue with Markham's success. He is the only coach to win the Arena Bowl, 87 and 88.
Former assistant coach at Rice, also with the San Antonio Gunslingers in the United States Football League.
Well, that would be fun to get Markham talking about those years at the San Antonio Gunslingers, because I've heard a lot of stories about what happened down there. That was really interesting.
20-10 the score here. Burris, by the way, 7 of 15 for 108 yards, and he has not been sacked tonight. Ben Bennett was sacked on the opening possession for Chicago, and he has not been dropped since that point in the game. All right, let's narrow it down here, Jim. Aside from scoring points, which is a given, what's the primary thing, the primary objective, which George Brancato talked to his team about at halftime?
Well, he's got to play defense, no doubt about it. Their secondary coverage has to get much tighter. They've had the breakdowns, and if they expect to get back at all, defense really has to come to the fore.
The players completing their warm-ups as we await the end of the halftime festivities here at Joe Louis Arena, and the final curtain call for those young cheerleaders who've been entertaining the fans. We had a football game here a few minutes ago. I think they pulled some people out of the stands and let them go out and play football, touch football on the field.
And a couple occasions that touch football looked like tackle football. A couple of guys were out in shorts, and I'm sure they're going to have some AstroTurf burns.
Easy to get a little carried away, I'm sure. Well, a 10-point lead here at halftime. The Detroit drive scoring on a pair of touchdown passes. Tony Burris to Gary Mullen. Also a 2-yard run by Lynn Bradford. That man, Novo Bojovic, made good on 2 of his 3 point-after touchdown attempts in the first half. Ben Bennett has passed for a touchdown, 5 yards to Carl Aikens. And Rob Houtlin has kicked a 21-yard field goal, and that's been it, scoring-wise, for the Chicago Bruisers. The Detroit drive making their way back onto the field. There you see the backup quarterback for Chicago, John Welch, number 17. We have not seen him. In fact, he's only played 1 game this year. We did see him in that game against Maryland out in Cincinnati, but he only attempted, I think, a couple of passes, incomplete on one, and had it intercepted. So Ben Bennett still the main man for the Chicago Bruisers, and don't let those numbers in the first half, 8 of 16 for 64 yards, fool you. George LaFrance, number 27, dropping back deep here for Detroit. Rob Houtlin will kick it off when we resume, and I'm not quite sure. There's Novo Bojovic. I'm not sure what happened right there. The kicker for Detroit, he's going back into the bench, and Rob Houtlin teeing it up for the Chicago Bruisers, who will kick it off here to begin the second half. Rob Houtlin out of the University of Iowa, where he was all Big Ten. He's had some problems kicking field goals in this league, but tonight he is 1 out of 2. Made good on a 21-yarder. And Houtlin puts it in the air to restart play and begin the second half. LaFrance. Oh, and he's hit by, I think, one of his own players. Somebody hit him. Jeff Dole gets credit for the tackle, but it was a blue jersey that hit LaFrance.
Let's take a look at it. He's certainly right. It was one of his own players trying to come back for the block. I can't pick up the number. That looked like Greg Orton.
Greg Orton, who's playing his first game of the year tonight.
LaFrance's going to go back and say, hey, guy, I'm on your side.
So
here's another look at it, David. Look at it. What? Oh. And LaFrance certainly wasn't expecting that.
Orton will enjoy seeing that one again. First down, Burris to Mullen. You think they'll enjoy that in the film room
Yeah, there'll be a few laughs, that's for sure.
Pickup of about 5 there on the quick pass to Mullen. His third catch of the night. His previous 2 had gone the distance. And it'll be 2nd and 5. Detroit trying to extend a 10-point lead. Burris 8 of 16 now in the night, 111 yards and a pair of touchdowns. This time he has it complete to Dwayne Dixon for a first down. So Burris 2 for 2 in the second half, and Tim Markham with some instructions for his quarterback. Just underway in the third. Ball at about the 24-yard line. The pitch to Bradford. Bradford, big hole. Touchdown, Detroit. 26-yard touchdown run by Lynn Bradford. Second touchdown of the night.
You're going to see a classic run by Lynn Bradford on the pitch. Watch the blocking out front. Good block by Brown. Now cutback right coming up right here. You see Carl Aikens really overrun the run. Ball carrier Bradford. Good cut right here. Carl Aikens, that's 84, who overruns the play. And it's all open territory for Bradford there. Fine run by Lynn Bradford.
The leading rusher in arena football, and he's having a big night here. Boyovich. No good. Wide left. But Detroit now with a 16-point lead. It's 26-10, the drive in front. Messages.
If you're a businessman or woman with the brains, drive, and desire to run a growing company, Inc., the magazine for growing companies, invites you to call now for a free copy of its Guide to Small Business Success. Here's a special report packed with the kind of hard-nosed, how-to business savvy you find in every issue of it.
Hi, I'm Fred Miller, chairman of the Division 1A Athletic Directors Marketing Committee. This stadium's empty right now, but it won't be for long.
P.O. Box 706, Middleton, Wisconsin, 53562. Please allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. That phone number again is 1-800.
The boot by Boyovich goes into the stands. Let's take a look at the touchdown.
Lynn Bradford, who's been the workhorse all evening. Great cut right there, but a mistake by Carl Aikens overrunning the play. And once Bradford got by Aikens, that's all she wrote.
38 yards in 3 plays. Bradford, the 26-yard run. He came in with 86 yards rushing. And he's got 58 here tonight. Not too shabby. Chicago ball from the 20 for Ben Bennett. He's going deep for Aikens, and Aikens could not adjust to the ball.
Well, little miscommunication between Bennett and Aikens. Aikens cut towards the corner. Bennett threw it down the middle, and Aikens had the defender completely fooled. He was all alone out in the corner. If Bennett would have read it, that may have been an option route where Aikens has his choice, in or out, and he took the out and Bennett took the in.
Zigged where he should have zagged, or vice versa. Second down from the 20. To Smith off his hands. William McClay right there to help break it up. And of course, Reggie Smith at only 5'6".
Well, there's nothing a receiver hates worse than a high thrown ball when you're going over the middle. That certainly was catchable, but the receiver thinks when his arms are outstretched, he's so vulnerable to a hit, you tend to bring your arms down a little quickly.
Bennett on the night now 8 of 18. The MVP a year ago, trying to get his team back in the Arena Bowl. Some jumping on the line, flag down. Bennett pumps once, he'll take off across midfield, well short of the first down. Flag is down.
It's going to go against Detroit. So I'm sure that Chicago will take the penalty and get another shot at picking up the first down.
Well, we've talked about the impact that penalties had in the first half. As you see the offside indication by the referee, Carl Paganelli. Right there, an offside against Detroit on Chicago's first possession of the second half. Tim Markham says, hey, let's get it going here. Yeah, we have a 16-point lead, but there's an awful lot of time, and you have the #1 passer on offense right now. 3rd and 7. It's picked off. It's intercepted. David Evans, number 26, makes the interception for Detroit.
Well, you're going to see the pressure on Ben Bennett by James Kmet, 50. Bennett couldn't get enough on the ball, but it was a great interception by Evans, 26, cutting in front of Carl Aikens, picking up right off the ground. Let's take another look. Again, you'll see the pressure there by Reddick, 44, good block on him, but Bennett throws it low, and David Evans just cuts in front of Carl Aikens to pick it off.
That's his first interception of the game, of the season. First turnover in this game. Detroit from the 19. Burris to Bradford. Bradford, there he goes. Inside the 10.
What an evening Bradford is having.
That's his first reception of the night.
He does it on the ground, he does it in the air.
All the way down to the 7-yard line of Chicago, and the Detroit drive on the legs of that man, moving into position here to break it wide open.
He just showed that you got to wrap your arms around him if you're going to expect to bring down Lynn Bradford in the open field.
Aikens finally did. Burris to the air, incomplete. Threw that ball away. LaFrance covered in the end zone. He looked towards him momentarily.
Yeah, Burris looked right, looked left, and said, I got to get rid of the football. Wisely so.
That was about a 24-yard gain, I believe, on that pass to Bradford. And, of course, he gained most of that.
Well, it's a well-set-up screen.
2nd and goal from the 7. Burst to the end zone. Out of the hands of Dwayne Dixon, but a flag is down.
They're going to call Carl Aikens for going over the back of Dwayne Dixon. Let's see if we can pick it up. Dixon had been in motion now to the right, and Burris going to him all the way. Let's see if you can see Aikens going over the shoulder. Yeah, his left arm got on there, on Dixon's left shoulder. They're going to call Carl. Well, let's take a look. Now they may not. Oh, they're going to call
Detroit.
Dixon. Well, let's take another look at this, and let's see if we can see Dixon pushing off on Aikens. Well, a little too late there because Dixon had made his cut. If the penalty was on Dixon, it had to be right as he made the cut.
So it's 3rd and goal from the 12. Quick pass. Dixon making the catch that time, and short of the goal line, well short. It'll be 4th down, and Bojovic will come on. So Chicago may have dodged a bullet here.
Well, temporarily.
Yeah. Bojovic.
Bojovic, one of the real heroes here on the Detroit drive. I think the fans just love him.
He's 0 for 2 tonight. Got a 21-yard attempt. He makes this one. And it's a 19-point Detroit lead, 29-10 with 6:59 to go in the 3rd. We'll be back after these messages.
Nights in Las Vegas or Atlantic City.
23 unanswered points have given Detroit a 29-10 lead here with 6:59 to go in the third quarter. The kickoff by Boyovich. High and deep off the net. Reggie Smith held down it, and a flag is down as well. 25 yards in 5 plays for Detroit following the interception. Boyovich with the 21-yard field goal. And this penalty, Detroit, up to this point, there was no penalty there. Detroit 6 penalties for 28 yards, Chicago 4 for 20. And the Bruisers begin this drive from their own 5-yard line. Inadvertent flag there, Jim?
Well, I think they were going to call the penalty that the defending team did not give room to the receiver.
5 yards. There's a flag, and quick pass from Bennett to Ken Sanders. Complete.
To complete that penalty that wasn't there, is you have to give the receiver 5 yards to catch the ball. Dwayne Dixon, who led this team in offense last year, seems to be playing a lot of defense tonight. 2 tackles, 3 assists, 1 block, pass block, almost picked off for an interception. So he shows you why he was the Iron Man last year. Yep. Plays on both sides of the football.
Fans here in Detroit like him. Tomorrow night out in Sacramento, Pittsburgh and Denver. Expecting a nice crowd out there tomorrow night. They're talking about 11 or 12,000. If you'd like to get a chance to see arena football. Not a real big crowd here tonight. There's a lot going on in Detroit. It's a bit disappointing, but this town has supported this team. Burris going, Bennett deep to Sanders, and Sanders cannot make the grab down around the 10-yard line.
And you'll see Ken Sanders arguing with the official, saying he was in bounds. But Sanders did have George LaFrance beat. If the ball was thrown a little better, I think Sanders had 6 points. You'll see it here. You'll see that Sanders has to come back for the football, and he definitely was out of bounds.
Almost made the grab on the pass from Ben Bennett. Both the quarterbacks here wear number 5. Bennett for Chicago, Burris for Detroit. This is 2nd and 7 from the 8 for the Bruisers. Bennett pumps once, flag down. Tries to get to Reggie Smith, but he can't. Again, there is a penalty marker down in the backfield.
We've seen a few flags in the second half, haven't we?
Well, we saw a lot last week in Maryland at the Capitol Center. And that was that ball game between Pittsburgh and the Commandos, and we're seeing a lot here tonight.
And this one's going against Chicago. Holding.
Holding against the Bruisers, which does not do them any good. The 5-yard walk-off as they try to come back from 19 points down here as we approach the late stages of the third quarter. This game moving rather quickly. 3rd and 11 from the 4 for Ben Bennett. He's got 8 tricks in there. It's be a good time to use them. Going for Sanders, nearly intercepted by William McClay. He tried to get it to Sanders again, and McClay stepped in there around midfield. Nearly picked it off. It'll be 4th down.
Well, once again, Dave, that ball underthrown because Sanders was open on the post pattern. Thrown a little better, I think Sanders had another 6 points. There's a lot of ifs and buts here, huh? If he would have done this.
Well, if Rob Houghton can kick this,
I'll be surprised.
It would be a 61-yarder. Here's the boot. It's going to be short, and LaFrance to the 10. Looking for an opening. Finds one. Down the right sidelines into Chicago territory. 4:23 to go, third quarter. It's Detroit by 19. And we'll be back with arena football action after these messages.
Legend of the Bowie Grinder.
Some of the cheerleaders trying to rev up the Detroit Drive, who already lead by 19. As we approach the 4-minute mark of the third quarter. The pitch to Bradford. Turns the corner. Down close to another first down. Lynn Bradford.
I don't know if any ball carrier has rushed for over 100 yards in any arena football game, but certainly Lynn Bradford is closing in on it.
No question. Well, he had 58 yards, I believe, before that carry. So he is having quite a night, and I think he's, well, of course, the regular season statistics are done with. He won the regular season rushing title. 2nd and 1. Burris, pump fake, going to the end zone. Mullen, touchdown. Third of the night, Gary Mullen.
Detroit is absolutely confusing Chicago. That time Tony Burris had his choice. He had 2 receivers open in the end zone. He chose Mullen, and Mullen has his 3rd touchdown of the night.
This one from 12. There's the pump fake. And there is Gary Mullen.
And you saw George LaFrance, 27, was also open in the end zone, and the only bruiser anywhere near the receiver was Carl Akins. Now look, there's Mullins wide open, and 27, George LaFrance right behind him open.
Boyovich, high snap. Burris gets it down. Boyovich puts it through. It's 36-10. Detroit in command with 2:39 to go in the 3rd period of play.
Hey, sports fans, get ready to win cash playing Championship Sports Trivia. Call 1-900-990-GAME. Test your knowledge of sports in baseball, basketball, football, and more. Just answer 6 questions correctly and win $100 on the spot. That's right, $100. Just call 1-900-990-GAME from a touch-tone phone. Answer 6 sports trivia questions and win $100. Call now. It's fun, it's easy to play, and you can win $100 on the spot. Call Championship Sports Trivia, 95 cents per minute.
What's the lowest point, drug-related, that you've ever been in?
I was downtown LA in the alley. I was taking a hit, and I remember how scared I got. I thought I was gonna die. And there was a guy named Jesse that was laying there. There was another guy that was shooting up heroin next to him, and he was shaking, you know, and they had to pour cold water on him and stuff. And I had this feeling like I was in hell.
Well, the fans here in Detroit have a lot to celebrate. They're up 36-10. The Detroit Drive over the Chicago Bruisers. Gary Mullen came in tonight having scored 3 touchdowns. He has scored 3 here tonight. The kickoff by Boyovich. Reggie Smith. Tripped up across the 10. Now here is the touchdown, the 3rd of the night from Tony Burris to Gary Mullen.
Oh, and you kind of wonder, how can the receiver get that open? No Chicago bruiser anywhere near Gary Mullen. It was just pitch and catch.
21 yards in 2 plays on the scoring drive for Detroit.
Gary Mullen, 3 touchdowns in a night, and he's had 4 receptions. That's not bad scoring percentage, is it?
Not at all. First down, Chicago from the 13. Here's the give to Dole. He gets across the 15. Short yardage. Boy, hard to believe, Jim, that Chicago led in this game 10-6 in the 2nd quarter. They now trail 10-36.
Well, their problems that they've had all season have surfaced again in this ball game, and that's the coverage in the secondary. Their defense certainly has left a lot to be desired.
Akins in motion. Bennett to Smith against McClay. One-on-one, and McClay brings him down.
Well, you saw the move of Reggie after the ball to the inside, back to the outside. McClay didn't buy either one of those fakes, so Reggie went right at him, stuck the forearm in his face, and tried to pick up what he could. Let's take a look on the reception. You'll see the move by Reggie back to the inside, now to the outside. No place to go, so he goes right at McClay. sticks that forearm in his face and tries to fight for whatever he can pick up, but I would say that McClay won that battle.
3rd and about a yard to go. This is a big play for Chicago. They pitch to Dole. Dole has a first down in Detroit territory. We're in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. A big play because realistically, if they don't score here, that's right, it's going to be awfully difficult for them. Not trying to indicate that one play was any more significant than one would think. There's Tim Markham, the coach of Detroit.
Is he smiling yet?
He won't. I'm telling you, he didn't smile at halftime. Well, that's understandable. But Aikens in motion. Bennett to Smith. Short gain. And that'll do it for the 3rd period of play. It's been all Detroit here in the 2nd half. Detroit leading Chicago 36-10. We'll be back after this message and a word from your local stations.
A break message brought to you by the Michigan Department of Transportation.
Flags down. Reggie Smith got tangled up in the end zone with William McClay.
Looked like McClay made the tackle on Reggie well before the ball was thrown. And the officials were right there to catch it. It's definitely going to go against Detroit. But, you know, I'm thinking the defensive effort that Detroit has put on tonight. This Chicago team, as we've mentioned, has averaged 42 points a ball game. They have 10 on the board.
Drive has done a great job. They put some early pressure on Bennett. Then Chicago appeared to get a handle on that. They have been shut out in the 2nd half. In fact, they have been shut out since the first 3 minutes of the 2nd quarter. It's been all Detroit since then. But this one goes against the drive and a 1st and goal from the 2. The pitch to Reggie Smith.
Boy, just great defensive effort by George LaFrance. And Reggie is going at it again. He's been on the officials all night.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what he's complaining about this time. But I'll tell you, it was a great defensive play by George LaFrance. He saw the pitch coming, got great penetration. Forced Reggie Smith back to the inside.
Well, Tim Markham has coached the league's #1 defense, the #1 scoring defense. Reggie Smith trying to turn the corner, and finally he's cut down as he tried to turn it inside. And it'll be a 3rd and goal situation. But you know, Chicago's been down here now, Jim, for about 2 minutes in game time.
That's why I'm surprised they're running the football. The clock is so critical for them now. They have to score and score quickly, and yet they're running the football.
3rd and goal from the 2.
But on the other side of the coin, Dave, it's tough when you're down that close to the end zone to score by throwing the ball.
Here's the pitch to Smith. Gets away from one man. Did he get in? Got down to the goal line.
Smith has been on the officials all night. And this last vocal effort has turned into a penalty against them, and it's going to take them back away from the end zone. But I'll tell you, that's a heck of an effort by Reggie Smith. That was an option pass. He intended to throw the football.
And I think Reggie Smith has just been thrown out of the game. He went toe-to-toe with Hank Lepore, the head linesman. Reggie, I believe, is out of there.
Let's watch the play. Now, Reggie wants to throw the football, but LaFrance is into his face so quickly, he can't set up. So now he improvises, goes for the end zone, but boy, great effort, great stop there by number 7. That's William McClay to prevent Reggie from getting in the end zone. You'll see he wants to throw the football, but has no chance. They're in on him too quickly. So now he's going for the end zone. Now watch the stop by McClay. Just short of the end zone.
But you know, now with a 4th and goal, instead of it being from the 1, it's 4th and goal from the 8. Bennett to the air, nearly picked off. David Evans nearly got his 2nd of the night. And now the ball will go over to Detroit. 6:55 to go. It's all Detroit, 36-10, and we'll be back with more arena action after these messages.
At last, a new magazine for people who love to travel, but don't care much for travel magazines. Travel. Subscribe now.
Call toll-free 1-800-722-11.